After last week experiment on high pulls where I was trying to get extra arm extension at the top of the pull, hoping that it would help getting a bit higher, I quickly realized that it was not the case. What I am lacking at the moment is strength and power from the bottom up, and no amount of elbow extension, given my current strength level, is going to address the issue. So what I thought about was to do a different variation without the momentum in order to build some power. So the idea is to just do an explosive pull-up, going as high as I can on each repetition and stay in a low rep range. Basically stop the set whenever it looks like I'm just performing a normal pull-up, regardless of the effort that I put in. And when I'm looking back at these, I believe that the first two or even three can be still classified as explosive pull-ups. The fourth and fifth one, especially this is the third set, so I was pretty fatigued at that point. They didn't really look that much different than a normal pull-up. So at that point, I knew I had done what I could. But I still think that the first few reps on each set were looking kind of explosive, and I was going up pretty fast. So I think that this is the most specific way that I can approach the high pull-ups, in a way that allows me to build progressively strength and power, and hopefully get much higher as time goes by. And then after that, I went into an incline dumbbell press superset with some wrist curls. In here I was trying a different position setup for the wrist curls, which is better for the supinated ones, because it allows my forearms to rest on the bench, and I'm not really pushing into the knees. It's a much softer surface, and it really helps a lot in keeping form straight. But the pronated ones aren't really getting much of a benefit from that, and I was noticing that in the first set. So for the second one, I was actually going back, sitting onto the bench, which ended up being the best of the two solutions. I also went up slightly in weight. I was doing dumbbells of 4 kilos until last time, and then I went up to 5, and I'm staying in the 15 to 20 rep range for each of the exercise. So it's a very high rep scheme, but the weight is very low and the range of motion is basically non-existent. And on dumbbell inclines, I was going up in weight since the last time. I was doing 18 kilo dumbbells, and I was pushing them to 10 repetitions. So I thought that it was a good idea to just go up in weight and possibly go low in reps. So I was hoping to stay within 8 at least, and then seeing if I can do a bit more and progress these maybe up to 12 before going up in weight again. The focus was on getting clean reps, full range of motion with no discomfort in the shoulder, and I was happy to see that I wasn't really feeling anything annoying in there. So that was good work. And then I moved over to the lower part of the body, where I was doing some sled pushes, the usual ramp up, and then I was pushing 2 top sets with 105 kilos. In between, I was doing a few handstands. They weren't feeling the greatest, but my wrists were warm at that point, so I thought that I might do a couple of those. So I ended up doing a few tucks just to refresh the movement in my brain and keep the movement pattern sort of ingrained in there. I'm not really doing those very often, as I don't want to put too much pressure on my wrists, so I will be sparingly throwing them in there. And the finisher was the assisted Nordic curls with the Bosu ball. This first set, when I rewatched it the first time, I wasn't really happy with the way that my hips were behaving. It doesn't really look like there is much flexion going on, but going further into the set, I can see that there is a little creeping back of my glutes. And in the second one, I was really conscious about that, and I was trying to get as many strict repetitions as I could. At the end of this second set, I was getting a little fatigued, and there was a bit more assistance from the hands, but overall it was good effort. Ciao.